Bad Movie Crew. Bad Movie Crew.
And we are back with another edition of the Bad Movie Crew. I'm your host, Neil, joined as always by my brother from another mother, and your other host, Mark.
Heel.
And we here. I mean, it's been a while.
We are here.
Yep, we are here. And what we talking about today, Mark? What will we be starting about here with?
We started about here with possibly what could be the first summer blockbuster. We are reviewing Mortal Kombat 2.
Yes, Mortal Kombat 2, obviously the sequel to Mortal Kombat that came out in 2021. Obviously, Mortal Kombat is that famous video game, fighting game from the 90s. Now, part one, we didn't review part one, Mark, but part one we thought was a bit of a letdown. It wasn't bad. It wasn't a terrible movie.
It wasn't.
And it was enjoyable in parts, but I think the decision to go with who they decided to as a lead character and protagonist around him and stuff, they didn't really like that sort of thing. It was, you could have taken it or leave it, but it was a bad movie. But Mark, we are not dwelling in the past, we're dwelling in the present, and presently we are talking about Mortal Kombat 2, which came out here the other day. I should know when it came out, but I don't know. It came out in 2026. It stars Karl Urban. You all may know Karl Urban. He's in another series that's currently popular and popping off right now, The Boys. Now, before we get into this, spoiler alert, you have been warned. If you have not watched Mortal Kombat 2 and you don't want this movie spoiled, this ain't the place for you. You need to press pause. You need to go and watch the movie. Good. So, Mortal Kombat, what did you think about Mortal Kombat 2?
I can do this a little different. I know when it's late to know my little rants and my little, but I can kind of be a little somber here at the beginning because there were some controversies surrounding a certain character, and there's some controversy post the movie. So I can speak about those first. So the main controversy was the casting of the actress for Jade. Now, if you know what Jade looks like in the game, she's dark skinned, very formidable fighter, but one of her identifying characteristics is her long hair. Trust me, believe this was an issue, but this was making social. But the casting of this actress, who has been cast in a few other things where I want to say was part of the woke community.
All I cared that Jade was green. Jade was green. I had a stop. Like, really didn't care about your rest.
Yeah, but there was also this whole thing about the uglification of women in games and media, and this actress didn't do herself much favors in handling the criticism. So that was a big issue. Let me say she played the character pretty decently, and I really don't care. That's one. Two, they're saying now again, this whole girl boss movement, that the fact that Shao Kahn and Kitana was essentially the last fight was the whole girl boss, yada, yada, yada. If you don't know the story, Kitana was always the main antagonist to Shao Kahn, or Shao Kahn is the main antagonist to Kitana, however you want to put it. The woman watched him kill his father, very violently, I might add, in the movie. And again, that is how the movie played out, because that's the line that they were going. Because Mortal Kombat is a game that's been out for the 90s. There have been various plot lines, story beats, everything. We've gone through, 12 variations and one reboot of Mortal Kombat in the game.
And they sure you missing things, but sure.
I'm pretty sure, because the highlights like games that wasn't actually a fighting game but RPG, but whatever. So there are many storylines along the way of Mortal Kombat, and that is one. Moving on to the movie. Violence and gore. I loved it. From the opening, you understood that the creators, directors, whoever, understood the missteps that they took in the first one and sought to rectify it. You may say, oh, well, yeah, y'all complain about this and next and before. They have much fighting, they have much war. Hold this in.
Say less.
Say less, man. From that first fight between Kitana's father and Shao Kahn, I knew it was different. Like, I gotta say, I am not 100% cool with Shao Kahn's on-screen presence, like the character, like how he looked. He wasn't as tall as I thought he should have been. He was tall, but I guess they tried to make it realistic, as realistic or
as grounded as they could in a game.
As grounded as it could. But to me, when he came on screen, he still had a commanding presence. And I love it. When he stepped on screen, this is about to be bad. You knew some shit was about to go down that you would not like. And his presence was felt every time he was on screen. When he swung his hammer, when he hit somebody, when he get hit, you felt it, and I appreciate that. The choreography throughout the movie was well done. Even the choreography in the first one was done well. So I gotta say that they kept that up. And I will say the scenery, they made sure to put in all of the fan favorite stages, and they made sure that everything was as close to recreating the scenes. You had the pit, you had the acid room. They did their best to recreate it within the plot beats of the movie. Karl Urban as Johnny Cage. People were a little skeptical about the casting. The Johnny Cage that he was playing, he was cast perfectly. And I will say he is the one person that hammed it up. But given he's an over the hill actor, it lent credence to the role. Never really talked about the meat and potatoes and what really was two of the best things that happened in this year. See Kano? Kano is my guy.
Kano hard.
Kano is my guy. Remember about Kano? When the man called Kong, the man called you a bleached out dildo. I hear, dang.
I call you a bleached out dildo. The man call you Voldemort's nutsack.
Nutsack. The man said, hey, wait, hold on. You got a phone boy. No, you going to do that. You got enough. 2020, the man was on screen. The man was comic relief and played perfectly. Now, do you understand how much of a bad man you have to be in hell? Just doing your thing in hell, you cool, you comfortable, but you still make it peaceful and flurry and look. Do you understand how much of a bad man you have to be in your own personal hell? I guess to say, nah, how about this fire and brimstone? I can just be here shoveling my gravel, pruning my flowers, and be good. Scorpion is the baddest of the baddest of the baddest. Johnny Cage and Kano come down with my master. You don't want me down here, no. Like this really
this is not a place for you.
This ain't where you park your car. This might look like all sunshine and roses here, but really and truly, this is just because I am that stop by that I making here peaceful. But you see, when my man realized that Sub-Zero was in hell, do you understand how much you have to hate a nigga to be in hell? To hear that your arch nemesis is in hell and you're going to kill me for that? Then Scorpion has shown me that I do not hate enough. That my level of hating needs to be up, though.
No, the man is a real hitter. Man's generational hit.
You must have behind down here, though. You must have behind. Oh, you don't see it? I just decide.
People if he dead.
I didn't feel myself say, I don't hate enough. I don't hate enough. Like that's the level of hatred and pettiness that I want aspire for the rest of my life.
But if a man kill your wife or your child, you want that man to stop breathing.
But you kill that man in the first one.
Job finished? Hold on. Job finished? Job not finished.
But you're in another round, so the job got to be finished.
Job not finished. Job not finished.
I know you dead or no, but I come to kill you again. Follow me. We game from behind. We game from behind.
Sub-Zero.
Thinking of my mom behind. My mom figured, well, I done with this. I dead. I get done up. I went to kill people. A whole ghost cannot have done me up. I done. I do my crime. I do my penance. I done. You mean to tell me you ain't gonna let me sleep at all? I can't rest. I killed this man family all in the 17, 16, 1500s, 1300s, whatever, 1200s. You had me all up down to the 2000s. You ain't gonna left me.
I mean, some good workers are hard to find, brother.
But well, clearly, so no, you are bringing me back. But you mean as I get up, I gotta fight this nigga again. Did you not see what he did to me last time? You ain't even send the help, no nothing. You can just resurrect me and say,
you got a new skill set.
That I definitely did. I definitely did. Of that new skill set.
Noob Cybot.
So I come back, you give me new skills, you give me new powers. I can split, I control the shadows, I can do. How I still get my ass kicked? Oh,
Because you're not a generational hitter. You was up against the hitter. Was he really hitter?
I am holding my own, you know. But then all of a sudden, you know, and Jade and Johnny Cage decide, oh, we're all three going to just team up for me. This was supposed to be a 2-on-1 handicap match, not a free for all. I asked, this was a lumberjack match. I asked for lumberjacks. I come to run the feed with my new powers against him and his powers, and all of a sudden, I'm a free for all.
But hold on.
WCW invaded WWE.
But hold on, noob. You had people though. You got shadow clones though. You have about 3 of them with you.
But sir, I'm running feed with my forever hater. I ain't do these 3 people another.
Yeah, but you were splitting yourself and fighting multiple people at the same time.
But sir, I get resurrected to protect this amulet, and then my eternal hater just show up. What are you supposed to do? Right?
Take that L. Take the L.
You hear any bitch in my voice? No.
Yeah, and a bitch in his voice. He was no bitch. Noob Saibot was no bitch.
I was running the field with my new powers. He knew powers. He was there swinging like Spider-Man. All of a sudden, he using his purely.
But then again,
Spider-Man.
I was just about to say, everybody else had new powers too. Johnny Cage had new powers. Jade had new staff. Scorpion, all of a sudden, he spear could walls or some things. Everybody got upgrades, man.
I was here for the feed with Scorpion. All of a sudden, is a street yard fight. Is lumberjacks. I outside the ring and the lumberjacks beating me. Like, what? I was sleeping for the last couple of months or a year or however long.
You are dead, sir. You are not sleeping. You are dead. You are past tense.
I wake up, the man said, hold that, protect that. And by the time I realized I was in the nether realm, I knew I was in problems. Because I know who down here. And I was expecting just him to be down here. All of a sudden, this turn, quote Jade, this comic relief with a laser eye, and I'm out of all of a sudden, shadow kicking me. I prepare for all of these things.
Sounds like you have a lot of excuses. No, how you feel about it?
I feel like I signed the wrong contract here. My contract was
you were saying you were misled. You were misled. Let us under.
But wait, bamboozled even. Plymouth Rock didn't land on me. I landed on Plymouth Rock. I come to protect this amulet and run this feed, the Scorpion. That is what they told me to do. Now all of a sudden, I cross the screen. Everybody holler, oh, noob is a bitch.
Shit.
Mark.
But ultimately, I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. They did a very good job of trying to blend all of the storylines and plot beats from the games all in one. Because as we were discussing, even minor characters like Baraka, who in the game has flip-flop defense. He's good one game, he's bad the next. They did a good job of that. I feel cheated that there wasn't Melina, but
you need something for part 3. You need something for part 3.
Yeah, I feel like with the amount of people that were on screen, I guess they were probably already chock full of characters. So I guess Melina not being there is neither here nor there. But I just thought that Melina could have been there as given story beats from the game, but it's not that much of a big deal. It's just interesting that they didn't bring it. But overall, I had an enjoyable time. It was a good way to kick off the summer session of movies that's to come.
Yeah, I agree. I thought they handled the IP very well. And just like the video games, it did a very good job of switching from Shang Tsung being the main antagonist in part 1 and in part 2 being it more Shao Kahn focused. What I thought was really good is that they switched gears from Cole as the protagonist in part 1, that single protagonist kind of thing, brought in Johnny Cage and used him as the human catalyst kind of, but also made it lighthearted and not too serious. Because let me be honest, right? You play Mortal Kombat, you go away from Shell tomorrow.
And if I don't see them, I'm happy with that. Well, sir,
Shao Kahn be a light word of him. But he held his own. What I like about it too is how he went out. He went out like a punk. He went out pretty, like you could tell if Shao Kahn wasn't up to trickery.
Yeah,
he would have probably taken out Shao Kahn. But having said that, though, I like how they set up the tournament, introduced Kitana, prop up Liu Kang as the real chosen one, and kind of gave everybody their little arc. I like the fight.
In a decent runtime too. Let me say that. In a decent runtime.
Yeah. It wasn't bloated, and because I felt as though we got right into it. We got Johnny Cage and we straight into it, right? And I like that. I thought the fight scenes were really good. I like that. The fatalities, I can call them fatalities, but the tournaments and the killings felt like fatalities. Like I could see these being adapted to the video games, and I could see it being like, Lord of mercy, that man really get tech out, right? You spoke on Johnny Cage being hammy, and I like how they had just enough camp and just enough not taking itself too serious, right? Because the first movie tried its darndest to be serious. Like when I say the first movie, I mean the one from the 90s. You could tell that they were trying. Yes, you had the Kano element again. You had certain comedic beats and stuff like that, but you could see that they were going for something a bit more grounded in reality, right? And it was taking itself a little more, but it was still camp in the very first one. And we talked about it too. Like I like the fact that this movie had that camp. That had moments where it was cheese. Like, I guess I found my perspective and zoom in and crescendo of music. And I thought that in a movie where you're really talking about people killing one another in a tournament for the fate of humanity, I like the fact that they still kept that level of humor and camp to make themselves not seem too serious. It worked really well. I did not like Karl Urban as Johnny Cage at first, but that's because in all of the iterations of Johnny Cage in the video games and TV shows or whatever, Johnny Cage was a young actor, established. Think of him like a Leonardo DiCaprio, kind of late 30s, early 40s, top of the hill, top actor, and just very good at martial arts and kicking ass. But this one shows that Johnny Cage, he seems over the hill in his acting career, in his kung fu martial arts, and he is now kind of reflecting and regretting some of the choices he has done being a douchebag Hollywood superstar, megastar, and trying to find some semblance and meaning, and he finds his way and his power, and they try to weave that in and make it, So it took me a while.
There's a storyline.
Yeah. It took me a while. I don't know if I fully still see Karl Urban as Johnny Cage, but I'll accept it. I thought Liu Kang was a very good Liu Kang in the fighting and, certain things that he did. Kung Lao was excellent. That fight scene between Kung Lao and Liu Kang was so hard. It was really, really good. A matter of fact, any fight scene that had Liu Kang in it was hard. Bottom line. If Liu Kang was in it, it was top tier. I like Jack's character because really and truly in the video games, he is like a background character. So he was pretty much that in this. Sonya. I mean, nobody, but I think everybody did. And she actually reminded me of the Sonya from the 90s. She reminded me a lot of that acting and that pacing. Like, to me, she did a very good job of embodying that character from the previous movie. So I thought I had a good time with the movie. I ain't gonna lie. I thought the movie was really good. It was well done. Kano was hilarious. Kano was the comic relief, the main source of comic relief. Yes, Johnny Cage would have had his moments or whatever, subverting expectations and whatnot. But Kano was spot on. I could tell that man, listen to me, brother. Just act like you home in the pub in Australia. Just so ever come to you, my right? And he delivered in spades. It was a great decision to bring him back. I don't have many knocks on the movie because the knocks are kind of what Mortal Kombat is all about, whether it's cheesy one-liners or campy, grandiose delusion. You said Shao Kahn. I don't even mind Shao Kahn because you're still going to make it as realistic as possible. I think
it didn't bother me that much. I just think he was more bulky than...
Mop on their roids, brother. Mop on their PDs, brother. Oh, the man bulking, bro. Getting an injection up the rear. Allegedly. We don't want Shao Kahn on come for me. But in all seriousness, though, I think Mortal Kombat is a really good movie to watch. If you're a fan of the video games, definitely watch it. If you just want a fun evening or afternoon, eat some popcorn, some hot dogs, and drinks, it is a good movie. I think the fighting, the choreography is great. The sets were great. The pacing, the humor, everything was great. And let me be honest, right? Mortal Kombat is ninjas of different colors beating the crowd out each other, killing each other in the most violent of methods. So in my mind, right, if you could bring that to screen, and I don't feel like I'm watching, Sophie's Heart with killing, I'm good to go. At the end of the day, this movie delivered on what Mortal Kombat is. Shoot, they even had Ed Boon in it. Kudos to that.
That was a nice cameo.
That was a nice.
That was my one great.
You don't want to hear Toasty?
I did. I definitely really wanted to hear that. I wanted to hear that. I was hoping that would happen.
Yeah, man. But I rate the movie, man. So, Mark, Out of the dragons, the little logo dragons, out of 5, how many should you get this?
Finish him.
To the ranking system, out of the little logo dragons, I can give it 4.5.
Ooh, 4.5.
I give it 4.5 because it did what it was supposed to do a little better than I thought it would.
Yeah. I agree with you. I wouldn't give it a 4.5, but I do agree with you. I give it a 4. I think it did what it was supposed to do. I could see that story playing out in another iteration of the game. So if they were to make Mortal Kombat, I don't know, 1.2, or I don't know, because the number system all over the place too. If they were to make a Mortal Kombat based on this storyline and the story followed this exactly, and you saw certain fatalities and certain moves and certain plot points just like this movie, it would be spot on for the franchise and everybody would have had a good time. Overall, I had a great time. I enjoyed the movie. I enjoyed the experience. It kind of reignited the feeling of going in the cinema watching the movie. And we actually, well, no, I don't know if I want to plug the new cinema yet because they ain't pay me money, so I ain't gonna do that. But yeah, we had a good time. I give it 4. Mark gives it 4.5. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you think, Mark. Close us out, my brother.
Before we get to that, I want to say this. So the lady that sat behind me during the viewing and then came up to me after and said, my commentary during the movie made it even more enjoyable for her. I don't know if you can ever see this. I don't know. Barbados Small, you
should have plugged the podcast, man. Come on, Mark, man.
I should plug it. But to you, I appreciate you. I'm glad that I didn't bother you. And I'm glad that I made the movie even better for you. But as always, like, comment, subscribe, share. Let us know if you think we're talking shite. Do you agree? Mortal Kombat 2, 4.5, 4. Do you think it's other shite? Do you think that the 90s one was better than this one? If you do, we can be half a serious talking about that, but don't worry about it. As always, we want your feedback. And until the next one.
Bad Movie Crew wins. Fatality.